Oh,
Jesus.
Lord. Listen to this guy, chat. This guy right here was certified by a guy way down there that has a fake license for certification. He just writes it on the paper and hands it to him. This guy wouldn't know good. Slapped him right in the tooth.
Oh man, welcome in, Jacques. Welcome in.
PhD of the Harvard president, right?
Yeah,
Just like the
yeah.
PhD of the Harvard president.
Yeah, Jacques just a little upset because he can't talk shit about my Cowboys anymore, can you? Can you, bud?
Oh, sure you can. They still lost one game.
If you would like me to. I mean, I was thinking about being nice. Keep talking.
Keep talking. GT, welcome in, dude. Wish your team was doing a little better than they are right now.
Oh, I don't even want to look at my team.
Those damn Steelers, man. I swear, dude. That's just... Their defense is good, but their offense is just it's just such a shit in the bed. Knocker, welcome in, dude. How are you, dude?
I'm doing great, bro.
Yeah.
Doing great. Life could not be better, man.
That's good.
Oh,
Good.
yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Nice. Tony had a last second thing he had to watch his godson, and then Gooch he's got to drive like 600 miles in the morning, pissed off being a Miami Dolphins fan. So he said he's gonna check in probably in a little while as well. Jacques, I like your background. You like the Knowles background there.
Yeah, there it is. The only undefeated team out there still that's gonna matter at the end of the day.
It's so funny that you guys are mad about it. It's just like they would have lost in the first round anyway. Who gives a shit?
We are mad.
How do you know that?
Patrick Mahomes was madder. That's all.
Now I'm gonna get started on it.
Now I'm gonna get started on it. GT, what do you did you agree on it? Because I know you're a college football guy. Did you agree with the FSU thing? Where'd you stand on it?
I think they should have went in because they didn't lose a game. Like that was the precedent. You know, like it's like what Mike Tomlin says. The standard is the standard. The standard is they didn't lose a game, so if they go and get blown out, then so be it. You know, that's how I saw it.
That's why they put TCU in, right? They went undefeated. You got to put them in.
Well, there's a reason why FSU wants out of the ACC, though, is because the ACC is trash. That's why they want to get out of that freaking conference.
Hey, it's not our fault. Everybody sucks. I mean, come on. I mean, you've got those University of Miami Hurricanes over there. I mean, what are we supposed to do with them? I mean, come on, get out of here with all them hurricane crap. I mean, heck.
Knocker's
you guys,
so mad.
in reality, let's take a big look at the last 40 years. It all goes in cycles. I think the Pac-12 panicked, but it all goes in cycles. For 6 or 7 years, it's the SEC. For then they fade out because all of the guys are being recruited to the SEC. You're not going to play. Let's change the landscape. So they go to the ACC, and that becomes the power conference. And then the Big 12, and then the Pac-12. The Pac-12 was the power conference back in the SC days, and then it rolled over. Well, you got to hate USC. You're not going to play there. They're too deep. Come change the thing. So the SEC is starting to go down. The ACC is starting to go down, and who's coming up? Texas, the Big 12.
It's all going to be solved next year, right? When it goes to, I mean,
I understand that, but they're still going to be able to manipulate it because it all depends on how many teams are in the top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think the 12 like Joe Clapp was saying,
What's that? A 12-game playoff? Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think the 12-game playoff is really going to kind of open it up now because, again, you've got the transfer portal still in effect here where everybody can transfer out. It used to be just the 4 teams, and everybody looked at it, and they saw the 4 teams going to the playoffs all the time. You saw your Bamas, your Clemson going to the playoffs all the time. So everybody wanted to go to Bama, Clemson, so they could go play for the big title. Now that you open that up to 12 teams again, I think you see this kind of bust open again where the transfer portal becomes more of a favorable thing for everybody again. Like I agree with what Bud is saying there. Like, again, whenever you have this wide open playing field of where everybody can go and everybody's almost on an equal standpoint or should be, again, you could take somebody and it almost becomes like a JUCO kid transferring into D1. This becomes more of a D1 player transferring into the Power 5 conference where he can go and shine and continue to do so. So I think with the 12-team format you're going to see conference alignments possibly, I would almost say, matter a little bit less, but on the same stance, it's everybody's now on that same even playing field.
Agree. Yeah.
of
It's gonna
the
be
Big
it's
12
it's
and
the right
everybody
thing to
has
do. They should
people.
have done this a long time ago instead of doing the 4 teams, because it was just dumb for them to put 4 teams, and it's hard to tell who anybody is. I mean, you look at this, the broad spectrum of sports, how many wild cards, 7th, 8th rate hockey teams we've seen win the World Cup or a basketball title or a Super Bowl. So I mean, to only have 4, yeah, is it's
Well, Josh,
you know.
it's dumb when you only have 4 spots, but you have 5
Well, yeah,
power
that's that
conference
too. I mean, it's just
Yes.
for to have
That's
4
the
playoff of
problem.
anything, you don't get it. You don't
Yeah.
get a true feel. So, but yeah, no one's more upset though than my boy Patrick Mahomes last. Jesus Christ,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Fuck that
Dude,
little-
listen, dude. Like, listen, the guy went off sides. You know what I mean? Like, the guy was off sides. It was the right call, even though the play was amazing. Thank you for the gift of sub to Butt Fumble. Listen, Butt Fumble. Thank you, Anonymous, for the gift of sub to Butt Fumble. GT, what are your thoughts, man? Do you think that the right call was made? Do you think that Mahomes is being just a little bitch about it? Like, what are your thoughts on the whole Chiefs debacle that happened?
I don't know. So apparently, there's a whole thing with the other side where Kansas City was saying, who is it, Von Miller or someone was offsides. I didn't see any photo of that happening, like ever. It was all like, oh, well, Von Miller's offsides, and there was like no proof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's just bitching about it. I don't know why they're taking a stand on this out of anything. Like, it was an amazing play.
Yeah.
And, you know, when it got called back, I was like, I mean, I don't want the Chiefs to win, but that was a play I would like to count. But at the same time, it's like his fucking helmet is a cross. Like, what do you want to do
To be
there?
a receiver too, like, and to not know that, like, especially when you know you're not even part of that play, to just be off the line a little bit, like, and to make sure in that moment, like, that's all in the same receiver that fucked up in the beginning of the season. Like, it's just and I know Mahomes come out later and he said that he's sorry and he's like but it's like, it's just such crap. And the ref made the right call. It is what it is. The guy was offside. The play doesn't count. Like, what do you got to say on the instance here?
I completely agree. I mean, the guy's easily offsides. It's easily seen. I mean, what more do you want to complain about it? My big thing, though, is I understand complaining about it. I understand you're not happy. But at the end of the game, you're supposed to go up to the other team. You're supposed to shake the other guy's hand. You're supposed to say, good game, good luck through the rest of the season. Even if you're having a bad day, just say the general words and walk on.
Right.
You're Patrick Mahomes and you're going up whining to Josh Allen. Let's rewind 2 years ago whenever Josh Allen got screwed out at your own stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's rewind last week whenever Josh Allen couldn't get a penalty call against Philly. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
What are you complaining about? It happens to everybody. And I just love Josh Allen's reaction was the whole just pat on the chest, like, okay, buddy. Okay, you go on.
Yeah.
You know, just the whole whatever.
Yeah, Josh Allen's like, dude, I needed this win. I don't give a fuck how we got it. It's saved my season right now. So, yeah, it's just, I think Mahomes knows he was wrong for popping off like he did, and I think he knew the heat of the moment that things got the best of him. So, Knocker, same thing. You agree with what we're saying here on the whole situation?
Well, here's my thing. It's been, I said it before, it's been a very frustrating season for the Kansas City Chiefs, and you know, they've gotten a lot of calls. They've won some games with some bad calls, and just to go back to last week, I don't see Patrick complaining about the call that he got 15 yards for unnecessary roughness when he was still in bounds. I didn't see him screaming at the refs. I didn't see him screaming at anybody. And then you just say, well, usually we get a warning and then they call it. A warning?
Yeah.
You're waiting for a warning?
Yeah.
That was your strategy. Well, let's just line them up off sides because they'll probably only give us a warning and everything will be okay. Like, what a Karen.
Yeah.
What an absolute bitch.
I think that the lust is really starting to come off that Chiefs team right now.
Absolutely.
It's really starting to come off of that Chiefs team, and the dynasty, or if they were even one, is definitely at the end of it here. And they're going to need to do something to put some weapons around Mahomes and get them back to where they were, because I don't think they're a Super Bowl team where they are right now. I mean, they'll make the playoffs, but
they're scoring way too low. That defense is not holding hardly
like when
anything.
they get down by 10, you used to be like, oh no, dude, they're gonna come back and win by 14. It's easy. Like now you're just like, oh fuck, I don't even think they can do it. So
Josh, if I may, the stats, you know, I'm not a stats guy, right?
Yeah.
But in this case for Kansas City, the stats aren't lying. They are the lowest scoring team in the second half in the entire NFL.
I agree. It's a problem that they don't have any playmakers. And the receivers, they've dropped 30-something balls. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of balls that have been dropped by the receivers.
Tony
so it's
has
great.
most of those.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's go around the horn real quick. Just cover up last week's games. It was a crazy weekend of football, some big upsets. So let's give me your 10 to 30 seconds here on each game here. We had we had the Patriots knock off your Steelers here. GT
Ouch.
Steelers now
Ouch.
7-6. Patriots find a way to win. Steelers, I mean, are there any hope for them at this point in the season? Are they done? What is the direction you think they go?
I don't know what the hell the Steelers are at this point. The thing is everyone wants to say like, oh, we should fire Tomlin. It's all Tomlin's fault. At this point, I don't even think it's Tomlin. I think it's actually the players, because every single game where the Steelers are clearly the better team, we're losing. Or it's a really close game that's like, what the heck's happening?
Yeah.
And Mika Fitzpatrick went on this thing where he talked about it too, and that's what he said, and I agreed with everything he said in that
all right,
press conference.
so Steelers just kind of lost at this point. Knocker, you've got my boys taking down the Eagles last week. Big, they didn't just take them down; they destroyed them, 33-13. You finally a believer in the Cowboys?
All I cared about is they covered the 28 points.
Fucking, I swear
That's all
to
I
God.
cared about.
You fucker.
No, the Cowboys are, and it pains me to say this, but they look really strong.
They do.
They're very strong on defense. Dak is playing really well. He's not doing anything stupid. They've got some really good receivers, and the best offensive line in football.
How about that kicker, 60-yarder though, bro?
Oh,
I mean,
he's
fuck
ridiculous.
it.
What an absolute game changer!
It was.
When you have a kicker that you just know, if we get to the 43-yard line,
we got a chance. Yeah, we got a chance.
So they were very impressive, Josh. I have to say, this is the most impressive
7-0 at home this year. 7-0 at home.
90s.
Yep.
Since the 90s. Absolutely.
I agree. We got Buccaneers Falcons here. Sheet. The Falcons fall down to the Bucks. This whole division here in the NFC South. Buccaneers Falcons. What do you make of these teams here?
This whole division is a dumpster fire, and the fact that one of these two teams is going to have to face either Philly or Dallas week 1. I mean, at this point, it's y'all need to get in there and flip a coin and decide who wants to really go face that.
Agree.
Again, Tampa pulls off a win here. Again, Atlanta didn't play a bad game. Just Tampa came up and pulled up a win.
Yep.
And I still stand by this division will have a losing record going to the playoffs.
It looks like that right now. We got Lions.
Josh,
you remember, it's a round horn. You only get your chance in your game here.
I understand, but I want to comment on the Atlanta game because Annie Agar.
What, lost you your bet?
No. Annie Agar on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
She goes over and
I know she's.
I belly laughed harder than I've ever laughed in my entire life because she said She said, why do you call a slow developing play in your own end zone? She comes back with the owner of the Falcons saying, well, does the fact that he fumbled in his own end zone count as a red zone turnover? I'm just like, oh my God. Just like, no, it only counts when you're in the other end zone, the other red zone. Just like,
nice.
Oh, she's awesome. She's awesome. It was absolutely hilarious.
She is pretty funny. She is pretty funny.
Go on.
GT,
Sorry about that.
You're good. Lions, Bears here. Lions, dude. The Lions just lose another game that they should win. The Bears go to 5-8. Lions are 9-4 now. What did you make of this Lions team, dude?
The Lions are pulling what I have seen by the Steelers for the past 10 years. Good luck, Lions.
I like it. Next up here, we've got how about these Bengals? The Colts Bengals. Their new quarterback Browning here. Having another decent game. They dropped 34 points at home against the Colts. They improved to 7-6, still viable in the AFC here. Knocker, the Bengals for real still.
I think they're rolling. I think they're doing really well. I think they've adjusted to Browning. I think he's a really good quarterback. It just hasn't had a chance because obviously the situation there. But yeah, I think the Bengals have all their players back. They're healthy. I think they're going to make a run.
Yeah, it's cool what Joe Burrow did too. He, I guess, Their quarterback Browning is from California, I believe, or grew up here, and so they're not used to the cold.
Washington.
Or
No, he's
Washington.
from Washington.
He's not used to the really, really cold weather, I guess his family is. So Burrow let him have his box for the game, which was cool to see. Nice. I like how the quarterbacks, like, you see, like, what's his name for the Browns sitting up in the fucking stands not giving a shit, and then you've got these quarterbacks, Deshaun, yeah, exactly. You got these quarterbacks that ended up helping him, so I liked it. Next up here, you've got, man, I didn't know why they played Lawrence in this game, though, but he ends up playing the Jags, fall to the Browns here. Jags, Browns, man. The Browns they're 8-5. They still have a chance here with Joe Flacco at the helm.
I'm not too sure what exact chance they're going to have there. Again, the Bengals still surging in that division. It's going to be interesting down the stretch for sure. This was a good win for Cleveland.
It was.
And a bad loss for Jacksonville.
Definitely.
Again, because Jacksonville, if you win this game, especially with Houston falling,
right,
it would have made a hell of a lot of difference.
Yeah.
But again, Cleveland, good job on the win. I saw Flacco's back on the practice squad, so I don't know what's going on there.
We'll have to check on their quarterback situation.
Oh yeah, they moved him back.
NFC South again. Yeah, NFC South again. Just this crazy. The Saints go to 6. You got 3 teams now. It's 6 and 7. GT in the NFC South. Saints drop 28, beat the Panthers 28-6. Oh, in your opinion, right now, if you had to take a bet, Saints, Bucks, Falcons, who are you taking to win the division here, GT?
Oh God, I don't even know. I would probably just.
They all have the same record right now. They all got the same record. You got $100. Where are you putting it on? He's looking up He's looking up schedules right now. He's totally looking up schedules right now. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not looking up the schedule.
Oh, okay.
I was just looking at the games they played.
Yeah.
I hate it. I think of the Saints. I do think the Saints.
All right, Knocker.
Because you have Kamara and you have the defense.
I think the defense for me is why the Saints are the ones to sneak in. Scary situation here. You got the Texans dropping a game to the Jets here, 36. Stroud goes out with an injury here. He gets knocked out with concussion, possibly. And the Jets pull off a win against the surging Texans, who now drop to 7-6. Knocker, Jets win this game. What are your thoughts on Jets Texans here?
I have no idea what to say.
Yeah.
Just this was the time for Houston to step up, make a statement, blah blah blah. Yeah, and the Jets have a good defense. The bottom line, the Jets have had a good defense all year long. So
yeah, Zach Wilson finally had a game. Yeah, I mean,
in that crappy division that they're in, the Miami might just drop back to the field. So
Miami's just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. We got Rams Ravens here. Rams come back. I mean, the Ravens come back in this one to pull off the win at home, 37-31 over the Rams here. The Ravens, pride of the AFC now?
No.
Okay.
Baltimore proved to me exactly where their glass ceiling is, and they proved to me that put up a team that can put up a fighting chance, and they're going to struggle with it. I don't see Baltimore being this number one team, but they're number one because everybody else is struggling.
Agree. It's kind of a year in football where there's not a dominant team right now. There really is not a team.
Not in the AFC.
I mean, yeah, not in the AFC, definitely. But even in the NFC, I mean, yeah, Niners when healthy are, but everyone's kind of got a chance here. You throw up anybody in any game, it seems, and it's just they got a chance, especially after this week. You've got the worst game of the whole entire season, the Vikings and the Raiders, man. GT. Vikings, Raiders, 3-0. But the Vikings get it done. They're 7-6 now.
The Raiders suck, and the Vikings have all these offensive weapons. They have Hunter, which is one of the best linebackers right now, and I don't understand how they can't get points. Yeah. I don't understand how they can't get points on defense or offense. I mean, they're just terrible. And apparently Josh Dobbs is getting thrown back and Nick Mullins is starting.
Oh, is he? Jesus, man. The carousel continues.
Which is insane.
Yeah, wow. Knocker, big game here. It was competitive at first, but then 49ers took control in the second half over the Seahawks. They win 28-16. Purdy continues his MVP candidate run. McCaffrey, another big game. Samuel, huge game as well. And the Niners continue to roll here. They proved the 10-3 best team in the NFL.
Wow. That's a tough call. It's either them or the Cowboys right now. And that's a really, really, really tough call. I think the 49ers have a slight edge, but to me right now, Dallas and San Francisco are your Super Bowl contenders. Yeah. I'd love to see them play in the NFC Championship.
I would too. Be good. Old school rivalry there too. 90s rivalry too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it.
You got next up here. We just talked about the game. Bills Chiefs here. Chiefs fall down by 3 points here to the Bills. Bills save their season. especially after the Miami loss. It was huge for the Bills to get that win. Chiefs fall to 8-5. Chiefs are struggling, and how big a win is this for the Bills?
This one is huge for the Bills, especially after Monday night.
Yeah.
This one's really big. It really pays off now. Buffalo picked up a good win in Kansas City. You know, post-game shenanigans are what they are here. Buffalo needed this win. They came out. They took care of business. They got it done. And like I said, Miami stumbling a little bit. Maybe now the Bills can take a little bit of a shot at it. But Kansas City got to put points on the board, man.
Yeah, they're struggling. They're struggling offensively without Pacheco last night, too. They were out some of their weapons. So, and we got the last 3 games here of this past week. We got Broncos, Chargers here, GT Broncos, and continue to win. They're now 7-6 and right back in that AFC playoff picture. The Chargers fall, and now their quarterback is out for the season as he went into surgery for day, I believe, on his finger. Did Herbert. Broncos, a fighting chance here?
I think they do, but it's worth mentioning that the Chargers are terrible. Eckler's been absolutely slow.
What a bust this year compared to the last 2 years in fantasy. That guy, I mean, my God. Mm-hmm.
Herbert's on IR too. So
yeah, he just had surgery today. Yeah, he had surgery on that finger. He'll be out. Knocker, Titans, Dolphins. Man, I was literally streaming last night, and someone told me the game was 27-14, and I don't know who is here, and I said, dude, this game's fucking over. Literally sounds like, dude, this game's over. Didn't even put it on. And then I don't know however much time it was. Someone's like, dude, they just came back to take the lead. Like, what happened in this one?
Well, you got to give it to Will Levis, man. Josh, I wish you would have watched this game because Will Levis had about 3 or 4 scrambles.
Yeah.
Where instead of sliding, he put his shoulder down and said,
that extra yard. Yeah.
No, fuck you. I'm going to run you over, man.
Oh.
This is old school. I love it. It was Tebow style. It was Joe Cap style. You don't even know who he is, but it was Joe Cap style. I loved it.
From what I saw just from the end, because I watched like the last, 10 minutes of the game, 5 minutes of the game. I mean, I just like the kid's attitude. I could just tell the kid could ball. Like, you could tell he's got like a baller. He's like, you know what I mean? There's some people you can just got that presence. I feel like he's got that for just a little bit.
He's got the attitude that you love. He may not have the talent of their old quarterback, the shotgun guy. What the hell is his name? Their main quarterback. Come on.
For who? The Titans?
Tannehill?
Yes.
Oh, Tannehill?
Tannehill, yes. Tannehill. He may not have the absolute like Cutler type talent.
Yeah.
You know that Greer probably doesn't have it, but he's got what you want to fire up your football team.
Yeah.
Now, what I thought, the Dolphins got the ball back with 1 minute and 53 seconds left on the clock. Granted, no timeouts, but all they needed was a field goal.
Yeah, you figured that. Yeah.
And again, that's the 3rd time this year they couldn't get it done. So I'm thinking the Dolphins are kind of like
biggest frauds in the NFL right now. I mean, really. And then you got the last game here. How much do you love Tommy DeVito's agent? My God, was that guy snazzy looking last night? Did you see this guy, Knocker? Did you see his agent?
I did.
Oh my God, with the hat and everything, he's kissing on his dad in the stands like, we're gonna get paid after dude, it was great, man. Yes, he's like, we're gonna be rich. So fucking love it, dude. It's so Italian. I love it. Man, what do you think about the Giants here? I mean, they're just talking about Danny Dumpster. I mean, that's the 2nd major neck head injuries he's had since he's been in the NFL. He's got to really start thinking about, his future here. And the Giants got to think about what they're gonna do at quarterback here. And they take down the Packers, who everyone was kind of like the little darling team the last couple of weeks here after Love had his 2 good games. I mean, what do you think about the Giants take down Packers here?
I'm telling you, New York's got it cooking under DeVito. DeVito's got it cooking in New York down there. All the New Yorkers are feeling better. Both your New York teams win. It's a good weekend in New York. DeVito's got it cooking.
It is.
You gotta love the story.
You gotta love the story. You really do. You gotta love his family. They're just in the parking lot tailgating with people, just smoking fat cigars.
Like I say, if you're New York at this point, what are you really playing?
Yeah,
for?
I mean, you might as well just give your fans something. Yeah, give your fans something. Yeah. All right. Well, we got week 15. We got 4 weeks left of football, man, until we hit the playoffs, which is wild. And we're going to hit into our Thursday game. We got 3 Saturday games this week, so make sure you guys lock in your picks, your exclamation picks in chat to get there. And again, we have another $20 winner. I got to check and see who won this week. I know we had 2 at the top. Chargers. I suck, dude, so bad. Tony was doing so good. He was like a 10-0 at one point, dude, because he picked all those random fucking winners last week. It was wild. All right, we've got Thursday night football. The battle, the over-under, who's going to get stabbed more in the parking lot? The Chargers and the Raiders here. Chargers 5-8, again, without their starter now. Raiders 5-8. Game really does not mean anything other than, I guess, pride, but you've got the Raiders favored by 3. Knocker, what do you got?
Who the fuck cares?
I know.
I mean, really.
I know.
It just really.
Got to pick one.
I just don't know. I think the Raiders still probably have just a little bit of pride left, and the Chargers are looking around the room going, okay, Herbert's hurt.
We're going to lose our
fucked
coach.
up a whole bunch of games this week. Our coach is going to get fired.
Yeah.
Can we just go out there and not get hurt and go on vacation? So I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Raiders too, just because I think they got a little bit left in the tank and they're at home and a little bit more healthier. GT, what do you got? Chargers, Raiders, Thursday Night Football.
Yep, I'm gonna go with the Raiders too. The Raiders did lose to the Vikings 3-0, but you know who's better? You know who's worse than the Vikings?
The Chargers, yeah.
The New England Patriots.
That's
and
true.
That's who the Chargers beat.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
I like it. Sheet, what do you got? Chargers, Raiders here.
Thursday night on Vegas, I'm pretty sure there's more things you can do than go to this game. And if you're watching it, Thursday night, there's more better things you can pay attention to here on Twitch than you can watching this one. No Justin Herbert, that makes a big difference as well. Bet Vegas wins this, but again, who cares?
Right, yeah, we're all on the Raiders here. All right, we got 3 games on Saturday. Starting in the morning and afternoon and the evening, which will be nice. You got the Vikings and Bengals, which turns into a good playoff match here, or trying to get in the playoffs, I should say. Vikings 7-6. They're 5-2 on the road this season, though. They go in to face the Bengals and the new Jake Browning over there. Bengals 7-6. They're right back in the playoff hunt. Bengals favored by 3. Dad, what do you got?
The Bengals by 10.
All right, I like it. I'm going to go Bengals here too as well. I like what they're doing right now. I feel like they're like energized behind Browning right now, and I feel like they've got this little spark. And Vikings, I know they won by 3-0, but they've got quarterback issues and so forth. What do you got, GT? Bengals, Vikings here.
Bengals by 10.
Bengals by 10. I like it. Sheet, what do you got?
A good game here. I'm not gonna lie. If you look on paper, you got the Bengals, you got Minnesota. Both of these teams really need it. Minnesota probably more than the Bengals because they've got a shot at Detroit, who's faltering right now. But the Bengals are too hot right now. The Bengals take this.
All right, going Bengals. We're going full sweep there. All right, we've got GT Steelers 7-6. Right back, still back in the playoff hunt here against the Colts 7-6. There's so many like sub 500 teams or just one game of 500 in this league this year. It's crazy. You've got the Indy line is 2.5 or 3 here. Just depends. Your normal home spread. Knocker Steelers Colts here. What do you got?
Oh, the beard with Minshew all the way.
Oh, I
baby.
like it. I'm going with Minshew Mania too. Yeah, I'm going Minshew Mania. GT, does your team stand a chance here against Minshew, huh?
Yeah, well, look at this. We have Highsmith's hurt.
Be honest. Be honest.
Hurt. The offense sucks. Mitch sucks. The run game sucked last game for whatever reason. So based on that, I think I should actually go with the Steelers because they absolutely should not win this game.
I love it.
And that's why I'm going to
go with Steelers because they shouldn't win. I love it.
Ride or die.
Ride or die. That's true black and yellow right there. What do you got, Sheet?
This team, boy, Indy, you sure do miss Jonathan Taylor right now.
Yes.
I mean, it's coming out, it's showing, but at the same time, Pittsburgh, you miss a whole lot of people. I ain't even gonna lie. Again, Indy's got a shot now. Houston slips up again.
Exactly.
That's right. They're still in that fight for the AFC South, which is now a game apiece between 3 teams. You gotta stick with it. Pittsburgh, it's just you're on the downhill slide of things right now. It's not looking good. I'm gonna go Indy at home here.
I love the NFC South and the AFC South might have a 500 team both from playoffs. That's crazy, dude. You've got Saturday night football, gonna be a good game here. Broncos 7-6, back right in the playoff picture. They're 3-3 on the road. They go in to face the Lions, who dropped their game against the Bears last week. The Lions come back home. They're 4-2 at home here. Detroit is favored by 5 in this one. Knocker, Broncos, Lions, Saturday night.
Where's the game?
In Detroit.
Dude, I think the Broncos are gonna win.
Okay.
I do, and you know how much it hurts me to say that.
I mean, I listen, dude. The Lions have fucked me over every time this year that I think they're gonna win.
They're not making any mistakes right now. The Broncos are not. They're playing very solid football. right now, and Detroit. Every time you say, "Wow, yeah, they're a playoff team. They're doing this, they're doing that. Yeah, roll," and they fuck you. So I'm going with the Bengals.
I mean the Broncos. Damn, your most hated team. You're going with the most hated team, the Broncos. What are you going with, GT?
I mean, the Lions lost to the Bears. Okay, I don't care if Justin Fields is back. Like, they lost to the Bears, and I don't know what the hell Cortland Sutton is on, but if you saw that one-handed catch, I mean, I have to go with the Broncos just on that one-handed catch.
All right, go with the Broncos here. Wow, Sheet, are you going with the Road Dogs here?
You know, last week, everything in me told me to pick the Bears, and I picked the Lions because I trusted them, and I said, they got it going on, and they're going to do it. Well, Lions, you let me the fuck down.
Yes.
So guess what? Go home and get your ass kicked by Russell Wilson. Denver takes this win.
Damn. Yeah.
Wow.
Man,
I love it.
I'm going to go just opposite here and go Lions. I'm going to give them another chance.
Wow,
I'm going to give the Lions
pick.
another chance here at home just because you guys are so adamant about the Broncos right now. I'm going to go Lions. I'll get one more run here. One more run. We've got Sunday football here. We got Bears 5-8 on the road against the Browns 8-5. A boring game here, but a big game for the Browns here, still in the playoff hunt. Cleveland favored by 3. Bears, Browns. What do you got, Knocker?
Why is Flacco on whatever list? Who's playing quarterback for the Browns this week? Is Deshaun coming back? Is that the deal?
No, I don't think so. Let me find out for you. But anyways, who is your pick going there?
Well, it really depends on who's playing.
No, they have Dorian Robinson's their only back. They show on their depth chart right now. So and Deshaun Watson's still on the IR.
Apparently there was a letter released 2 days ago that Flacco is the team starter for the rest of the season, which is just interesting because there was this story that he was back on the practice squad. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it says here in the news. It says Flacco reverted. This is 1 day ago, which is Monday. Flacco reverted to the Browns practice squad Monday per NFL sources. The move is merely procedural after the Browns elevated Flacco to start the team's last 2 games. So far, he's yeah, he's gonna start, dude. I don't.
Yeah, he
said Kevin's. Yeah, they called him the starter. So yeah, you're good.
So Jacques, that just sets you up for a contract at ESPN. Disinformation.
Yeah,
that's what gets you the big money right now. That gives you the big money. You had me rolling. You had me going. But now that I know that you were just feeding me bullshit, I'm going with the Browns.
All right. I appreciate it. Dab Poker 420. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. What do you got, GT?
Yeah, as long as Flacco's playing, I got to go with the Browns.
Right?
Bears are terrible.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Browns and Flacco too at home. What do you got, Sheet?
Browns and Flacco here. It's like, again, they've looked good. They're in the playoff hunt. That's all fine and dandy. But Chicago is playing don't give a F football right now. They're playing some good football right now. I like what Chicago's been cooking with lately.
Stop it.
So I'm going with Chicago here because
God.
Justin Fields is going to get this done.
Wow.
I said last week I should have picked them over the Lions.
That hairspray's getting to your fucking brain there, bro. Too much hairspray. Yeah, the hairspray, bro.
Justin Fields right now is on a different level.
All right, you're going with the Bears.
He's playing for some off-season standings there. He's playing to try to get out of Chicago.
All right, Bears in the upset here. All right, we've got a battle of 6 and 7 teams here. The Buccaneers 6 and 7 on the road against the Packers 6 and 7 here. The Packers are favored by 3.5 or so in this one. Buccaneers, Packers, Knocker. What do you got?
I like Tampa.
Okay.
I'm going with Baker.
All right, I'm gonna go with Love at home here. The Buccaneers just right every time that you think they're gonna get something good, they even have fun on their face. I'm gonna give Packers at home the home field advantage. To Love, they're getting that energy. What do you got, GT?
One more time.
I hate both of these teams because every time you think they're going to be
that's
good,
what I'm saying.
They lose.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with Mike Evans. Mike Evans will be doing really good, and then one game, it's like he disappears off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would say Packers, but if Watson's not playing and Jones isn't playing, like all these stars aren't playing, then I'm going to switch back. But for right now, I'm going to pick the Packers.
All right. Sheet, what do you got?
You don't bet against the Pack in December at Lambeau. The frozen tundra
Yep.
takes care of the
That's true.
Buccaneers.
It's like Ullman says, it's cold as
Frozen
fuck,
tundra
man, up
takes
there.
care of the Buccaneers here. The Pack with the win.
I like it. All right, next up, we've got the 7-6 Texans who dropped last week a game to the Jets. Titans come back on that win against the Dolphins. Titans 5-8. They're 4-2 at home. Texans 7-6 or 2-4 on the road. Knocker, what do you got? Texans, Titans in this one.
I was very impressed with the way the Titans played this weekend, so I'm going with Tennessee.
Okay, what do you got, GT?
So I don't know if CJ Stroud is going to be playing.
No,
He's
they
in
said
concussion
they said he's in
protocol right now.
concussion. They said Davis Mills would be the backup if
Who?
Davis Mills would be in line to make his first start of the
Exactly.
season.
Where
Yeah.
the heck did he
I don't
play
know. It's his
college?
first start of the season. I don't know. Davis Mills.
Mills?
Yeah, I don't know. That's his name.
Holy shit.
Davis
Which is
Mills.
weird because they're starting him over Case Keenum.
Yeah, Davis Mills. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't care who starts.
Oh,
The
man.
Yeah.
Texans look terrible.
yeah.
So I'm going with Will Levis.
Yeah,
and the
going
Titans.
Levis and the Titans. I'm going to go
Right.
Levis and the Titans as well. What do you got, Sheet?
Attaboy.
This game changes drastically if Stroud is indeed out.
Oh, definitely.
Without Stroud, Houston doesn't have the firepower. Luckily for Tennessee and Houston, probably they play each other twice in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I like what Levis did last week as well, and I think Levis is going to be looking to strike against Houston here, regardless, because at this point you're fighting off Houston for a playoff shot. And again, honestly, I think C.J. Stroud and Will Levis are the future of the AFC South,
All right.
along with Richardson. These two are going to be a fun battle to watch for the next 10 years
Yep.
to come for the AFC South. But I'm going to go Tennessee here. But if C.J. Stroud is playing, that pick will change.
All right. I agree with you. My pick would change too. Jets 5-8. Again, coming away with that big win. Dolphins coming away with that big loss. Dolphins are 9-4. They're 5-1 at home. They're going to be at home here. The Jets 5-8. Miami favored by 8.5 in this one. Jets, Dolphins. Knocker, what do you got?
I do not like the way the Dolphins looked on the field last week. And throughout history, the Jets have pretty much dominated the Dolphins. So I'm going with the upset. I'm going with the Jets defense on this one.
Wow, Jesus. All right, GT, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins just based on the roster, like on both sides. However, what I'm gonna say is I'm not betting on this game. I do not want to touch
Right?
this game.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but the 8.5 spread is actually really scary.
Yeah.
So I'm just not touching it.
Yeah, all right, but you're going Dolphins. I'm going to go Dolphins at home here just because, like, GT, on paper, I mean, the Dolphins are just a better team, but
You're going to be sorry.
we'll
next
see.
week. You're
We'll
gonna be
see.
telling me, Knocker,
Well,
you are a god.
well, if you pick this one, it'd be crazy. What do you got, Sheet?
Miami, I think it's time for playtime to be over. I think it's time to get a little serious right now because, again, you should not have lost that game the other night. There's no way you lost that, and you let a team come back from 14 down in the last few minutes, and you're out here partying and doing the Titans dance in the end zone. Remember the Titans? Well, everybody remembers you lost the game.
Yeah.
With that said, though, I think you're going to be able to beat the Jets here, but again, it's time to lock down.
Yeah.
It's time to lock it down.
I agree.
It's wheelbarrow time.
Yeah, it's good.
You
Yeah,
saw that
yeah. If
celebration.
they
Yeah, the
lose this,
wheelbarrow.
if they lose this game, I mean, the franchise has to really think about where they're heading here.
Jets.
Next game up here. Wow, we're talking about a game the Chiefs really need to bounce back here. The Chiefs 8-5 against the Patriots 3-10. I mean, is this
Wow.
going to be a massacre here, or do you think that the Chiefs come in and maybe stub their toe again on a Patriots team that has nothing to they have nothing to lose here other than just playing their ass off in that defense and maybe finding a frustrated Chiefs team. The Chiefs are favored by 9.5 here on the road against the Patriots. Knocker, what do you got? Go ahead and go around the horn. I'm gonna grab a drink too. So go ahead.
Oh, on this one, I'm totally. If I'm a betting man, I'm taking the points. At this point in the season, I just think that Belichick, with his pride and everybody just shitting on him all year long, blah 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 blah. Zap played a really good game. I'm going for the upset, man. I'm going for New England at home to pull this game out because I just look at Kansas City and all I see is disarray. I see drop passes. I see Mahomes throwing passes short or long, or the receiver breaks in instead of out, and he throws the ball. I think Kansas City is just right for just an implosion, and I'm going for the upset, man. I may be crazy, but I'm going for the upset. What do you got, GT?
Yeah, see, I would say the same thing. So I would pick the Chiefs for this, but I would definitely want to take the Patriots points just based on what the heck we saw. I think a big thing that we didn't talk about too about that Bills game, because we only got like 10-30 seconds.
Right.
But Pacheco wasn't playing, right? And I didn't realize how key he was to that offense, because
absolutely.
in the past he wasn't consistent. He was we had a layer, we had like running back roulette sometimes,
right?
And now it's like the opposite, and it's really confusing on what the heck's going on. And now we got, I can't even say his name, Scantling or whatever, and Tony both can't catch balls,
right?
So I don't know what's going on over there. I'm still gonna like pick the Chiefs, but I'm not gonna be surprised at all if the Patriots end up pulling one out of their hat.
Nice.
Are you going? Did you go Chiefs, Knocker? You going Chiefs in the bounce back?
No, I'm going
Patriots.
upset. I'm going Belichick in his swan song.
Right.
He outcoaches the Chiefs.
Damn. And then you win Chiefs, GT?
Yeah, I still want Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chiefs on the bounce back too. What do you got, Sheet?
As much as this to me is a lot like the Lions and the Bears last week. Everything is screaming at me to pick New England. I feel like New England has a real opportunity here to win this game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like what I see out of Zappy. I think it's time for change in New England. I think it's time for Mac Jones to be gone. And I think it's Zappy time in New England, because he's doing a hell of a lot better. He's putting your team in winning situations. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs team on this one, off the fact of, again, it's like they always say, you look at it and you got a team that comes off a loss like Kansas City did. And, sure, heat of the moment, Patrick Mahomes, whatever you want to call it. You were on TV. Everybody saw what you kind of were a little bit of about. But at the same time, a team like that, sometimes it takes that little push
to kind of energize them
back in the right direction.
True.
Push a team to really push forward and be who they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what happens here. That's what needs to happen here, at least, is that this needs to be that game where you push through whatever funk you've been in under the season, get it done here, and move forward. Right. So I'm going Chiefs.
Going Chiefs here. All right.
The wagons.
Yeah, I agree. Next game up here, Giants 5-8 against the Saints 6-7. Still Saints fine for a chance in that division here. We got the DeVito show walking into New Orleans here. Saints favored by 6 in this one. Giants Saints. What do you got, Knocker?
They're favored by 6?
Mm-hmm.
Absolute total disrespect. I'm going with the G-Man.
Oh, jeez.
Absolutely. I like what's going on there. I like the energy. I just do. Carr's a mess right now.
Okay.
Winston, you have no idea if he's going to throw 6 interceptions or 6 touchdowns. And you just don't know. So I'm just going to go with the solid team right now.
Giants
not doing
over
stupid shit. I'm going with the Giants.
All right. I'm going to go Saints. For that defense at home. I just think that's a tough place for him to go in and win that game. I think this is a little bit of a fall back to grace game for the Giants, who have kind of played, I think, a little better than their team actually is. I'm going to go with the Saints here to get it done by 10. I think they win by 10 in this one. What do you got, GT? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go with the Saints. I mean, the Giants, the Giants barely won, right? They got a field goal at the end. They do look good. They did look better than the Packers, but I still have to go with the Saints, even though I don't know what the hell happens at the Saints. It's like when you said pick 1 of 3 teams for that division.
Yeah.
All 3 of those teams.
It's a crapshoot. Yeah, it's a crap. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. Yeah. What do you got, Sheet?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
ET, who's better, the Saints or the Packers?
You did not just ask that question.
You didn't just ask that question.
I think you did.
You based your choice on that, and I just need to know what you think, man. Are the Packers or the Saints better? Because that's what we come down to with the pick, right?
Well, but the Packers are better in December.
At home. Yeah. Yeah. You got Sheet, are you going with
But-
the Saints?
I don't know. I
Man,
actually don't know.
You know, you live down here in Louisiana. All you
love
hear
it.
is who that gonna beat them Saints? Forget about it. DeVito's rolling in here.
Wow.
He's popping heads. He's taking a win.
Wow.
Giants by 14,
Wow.
baby. 14
Damn.
for DeVito.
Sheet
You see
throwing
that?
it
That's
down.
better than the Who Dat Nation all day
Damn.
long. Give me that right there.
Damn, man. Dude, if DeVito
my
does
boy.
win this sucker, it'd be wild. You got the
Right?
Falcons 6-7 again against another 1-12 Panthers team. Can the Falcons improve to 500 and maybe take control of that division? Atlanta favored by 3 here, Knocker. What do you got?
Right, you had to go Falcons, and it's just Panthers are a mess.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go Falcons here as well. What do you got, GT?
They're only favored by 3
Yeah.
against a team that's 1-12.
Yeah.
Like what? This is another thing. I'm gonna pick the Falcons, but I'm not touching this. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen
I agree.
because the Panthers might actually win because that's what the Falcons do.
Yeah, they end
They
up.
should totally
yeah,
win this
I agree.
and get ahead in games, but it's the Falcons.
All right, what do you
So-
got? Falcons, Panthers, Sheet?
Falcons all the way. Panthers are it's done. We're
I
not
like
even
it.
gonna go into it.
All right, we got the 1:00 game. Commanders 4-9 against the Rams 6-7. Rams have an outside shot, still playoff viable here. The Rams are favored by 6.5, maybe 7, depends where you get it. Commanders, Rams here. I'm gonna go with the Rams, man. They've been showing heart lately, and I know they lost last week, but I'm gonna go with the Rams here over the Commanders, especially at home. What do you got, Knock?
Well, I picked the Rams to beat the Ravens,
Yeah,
and they were right there. Bad calls, referees again.
yeah,
Blah blah blah. This game is in LA, right?
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
It's just you got to go with the Rams.
Yeah.
You just have to. They are this close to they've had games swing. They're this close to having 3 more wins as opposed to 3 losses. So
Agree.
I think they're getting better every week.
Yeah.
I like the Rams.
That's what I was saying. They look good. Like they showed some heart the last 3 weeks here. They
Yes.
showed some team, coming together as far as a team here and playing well. What do you got, GT? Rams, Commanders here.
I'm definitely gonna go with the Rams. One thing I want to mention is how does Sam Howell have all these passing yards and all of his receivers are super inconsistent and make no sense? Like Scary Terry's, he's not scary anymore. He's scared.
I'm
of
scared to
getting
play him. I'm
yards.
scared to play him in fantasy. That's what it is. Like I'm scared to
Right?
play. Yeah, I have him on a team. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But you going Rams though? This one, GT?
I have to go Rams. I picked the Rams too against the Ravens,
Yeah.
and I didn't throw anything, but
Yeah.
I was thinking of throwing lots of things on that last kickoff return. I was like,
Yeah.
you've got to be kidding me. The Rams played so good.
Yeah.
in
Yes.
this one play.
And one play
Yeah,
takes it
just
away.
let it loose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sheet, what do you got here? Commanders, Rams.
Again, Rams are a healthy team right now. Should have beat the Ravens last week. Again, I don't see the Ravens being much of any threat.
Yeah.
Again, Rams win this one though.
Going away. All right. This could be an absolute slaughter here. You got the 49ers who are rolling 10-3. They roll into Arizona to face the Cardinals. They're favored by 13.5, 14 in this. Could this be a stub your toe game, or is this just Niners roll on by, that they get up in the game, they hold on to it, win by 14. What do you got, Knocker?
This is so scary. This is just the 49ers have played 3 weeks in a row, really good teams, right?
Yeah.
It's been a test. And Arizona's been
They're on a 5-game
thorn.
winning streak after
Right.
dropping 3 in a row. They beat the Jags,
Right.
the Bucks, the Seahawks, the Eagles, and the Seahawks again. So
and that's a good run. So if there's ever a letdown game for the 49ers, it's this week, right? So Arizona has been a thorn in their side.
they do
every
play the
single
Ravens
week,
the following week, which is a big game.
right? So if they were right for an upset, it's this week.
Okay.
I'm going to go with San Francisco, but it's going to be a really, 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 really close game.
Yeah,
Arizona is
biggest-
going to play their ass off.
Biggest spread of the week, obviously, at 14 there.
Yes.
What do you got? Cardinals, Niners.
The spread is 14.
Yeah,
I'm-
13 and a
I'm-
half, 14, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna go with the 49ers. I would be scared that it turns into a Dolphin situation because Kyler Murray will run 200 yards back and forth on the field on one play that's at the 2-yard line. So
All right, what do you got?
Wow.
Niners, Cardinals here, Sheet. Any chance for an upset?
Oh, you know what the fun part about this game is? These are two teams that have beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ, dude.
Wow.
So even if Arizona
Man,
wins,
fuck.
San Francisco still has that tiebreaker. I'm just saying. San Francisco should win this one, but we don't ever forget
You're an
who put the
ass.
Cowboys on their
You're
ass.
an ass, Jacques. You're an ass. All right, next game up here. We've got the Cowboys and the Bills, a huge game, a little rematch of past Super Bowls in the 90s here. Cowboys 10-3, Bills 7-6, coming off that win, saving their season. Bills, no respect here to the Cowboys. Bills favored by 2.5 here at home against the Cowboys. Cowboys rolling in. Knocker, what do you got? You guys know my pick, so I'm going Cowboys, but no.
Right. I don't know. This is really, really interesting.
Weather's going to be crazy too, probably. It's going to be cold, you know. Yeah.
We're going to find out a lot about both of these teams. You know, Buffalo's trying to, put it back together and get back to where they think they should be. Dallas is just like,
Dallas is riding
right
high
there.
right now. Yep.
But it's still Dallas. It's still on the road. It's still in cold weather. I'm going with the Bills. I think
right.
Vegas has it right. I'm going to go with the Bills.
All right, what do you got, GT?
I hate that I'm gonna have to pick the team that I don't want to pick because the thing is so I do think weather does play a big part. So I
Definitely.
might flip this around.
Yeah.
But if weather is not going to play a part, the Cowboys should absolutely win this game.
Yes.
I don't. It's one of those things too. Like the Bills wide receivers, what the heck's going on there?
Yeah.
It's the same.
Diggs
it's a similar thing
Diggs
where-
has disappeared once. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Cowboys should absolutely win. CeeDee Lamb should get a bunch of yards, and then now they're putting in Rico Dowell instead of Tony Pollard, and he's still going off.
And Ferguson's finally playing well,
happened.
and their tight ends finally stepping up. Ferguson's been playing really well of late. So, you going Cowboys here?
Unfortunately.
Okay, Sheet, you look at the sky. I mean, you love either you're going Josh Allen or you're going Cowboys. You got to pick against your two nemesis here. What do you got?
Sunday night, we saw something really interesting that I don't think a lot of people expected to see.
Yeah.
When's the last time Philly hadn't scored a touchdown in a game offensively? Just ask yourself that, and that's your answer there.
Yeah.
Dallas right now, love you, hate you, whatever you want to call it. They're playing confident.
Yeah.
They're giving a lot of confident calls to Dak Prescott. They're going really good, and Prescott is playing probably the best ball I've ever seen him play in his career. He is playing the best ball he has played in his career.
Yep.
You know who's not? Josh Allen.
Yep.
Josh Allen has been so undependable this season against teams that he shouldn't be throwing interceptions against teams that he should be soaring over. He struggles, he stumbles, game in and game out. I don't trust Josh Allen right now. The one thing we're all getting robbed of course, is Diggs on Diggs. That would have been a great matchup.
Right.
That would have been some fun. We're all getting robbed of that. But that's just the game for you. I'm going Dallas here.
Damn.
This should be a game that Dallas wins. Again, Josh Allen, you're just too inconsistent. I don't trust it. And Dak's
Let's go, Sheet.
really
Let's
good
go,
ball.
Sheet. Picking the Cowboys. I love it. Let's go, baby.
But
Yes. Uh-oh.
You don't know sheep
Cowboys,
unless you know
I will
Jacques
say
Sheep.
this now before your head gets too big. Don't touch the clouds just yet,
Okay.
because you still have tests to go.
We got Dolphins Lions after this. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Cowboys, you just proved to America you are an NFC championship contender.
Yes.
You just proved it.
Yep.
Fuck up and find out.
Oh, I love it. How many TDs does Allen have this season? He's got 25. 25 TDs. He's got a quarterback rating of 70 though. He's
20.
yeah.
He's 25 and 14. I
Yeah.
mean, Jameis Winston had similar numbers.
Yeah. You got big game.
Wow.
Big game Sunday night. Ravens 10-3. Ravens 10-3. They're 5-1 on the road. They go in to face the Jaguars, who are banged up. 8-5 here. They've dropped a couple games. Excuse me. The Ravens are favored by
Cowboys
3.5. Ravens Jags. What do you got, Knocker?
This is really, really tough. Wow. The Rams should have beat them this weekend. And Jacksonville, like you said, Josh, should they have played Sunshine on the bad ankle or saved him for this game? Because this game
matters
was
a lot.
Probably more important on the calendar than last week's game. Wow, this is tough.
I'd rather have dropped the 2 in a row, knowing I've dropped 2 in a row, and have him healthy for the 3rd game. Then you know what I mean, and then take my chances at home. Yeah. So I'm going Ravens just because I don't think he's healthy, and without him being able to do what Lawrence does on a normal basis, which he's not, he didn't get to rest that foot at all. He didn't get to rest at all. I mean, that thing's still probably the same condition as it was last week, right? I mean, let's be real.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But that being said, Baltimore has a tendency to lose these kind of games.
So the Jags.
The last couple of years.
So do the Jags.
So,
I mean, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game. It's a crapshoot.
I think this is a really, really interesting, intriguing game, and I'm going to watch this one.
Yeah, I mean, if the Ravens win this, they pretty much win the AFC. I mean, if they win this game. So, what do you got, GT? Ravens, Jags.
I gotta pick all the teams I don't like. This is so stupid. I'm gonna go with the Ravens because the problem with the Jaguars is one, I don't know what's going on with ETN. He's a good running back and he hasn't been doing terrible.
Yeah.
But he also hasn't been doing great. And Kirk's on IR. So I don't know what the hell their offense is at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they also put in Tank Bigsby instead of ETN. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? The one drive a couple games ago, ETN sat out the whole 4th quarter or something, and they put him in at the end. And I was like, he's your star player. Put him in. I didn't know what was going on there. But yeah, I mean, the Ravens, the offense and the defense, I can't argue with that. So I have to go with the Ravens.
All right. What do you got, Sheet?
Look, I mean, I'm sorry. I still say it, and I'm going to stand by it. Baltimore's glass ceiling. That ceiling is not great. You play a bunch of sorry teams, and you post a record of 10-3. Great for you. Go hang out with your buddies in Philly. They did the same thing. So you're going into Duval, and Duval's fired up because they're ready to win the AFC South and go to the playoffs. Give me Duval. Give me the Jags.
The Jags. All right, man. We've got Monday Night Football. Good game here. Eagles 10-3 against the Seahawks 6-7. Still up in the air if Geno's going to play Drew Lock, the quarterback, right now, but they do get a big Witherspoon back on defense for the Seahawks here. Eagles, again, coming off the loss. They're favored by 4 against Seahawks here. Battle of the Birds here. Seahawks always tough at home. It's probably going to be a little cold, maybe a little rainy up there. Who knows? Eagles, Seahawks. What do you got, Knocker?
You got to go. You got to go with the Eagles on this one. Seattle, if they had any hope for the playoffs, it was just crushed. And Philly's just got to go, okay, we just lost to our rival.
They got to win out. They got to win out, and they win the division, right? I think.
We have an easier schedule than Dallas.
Yeah.
Just win the rest of our games, secure home field advantage. I think this is hugely important for Philly, and I think it's going to be a decent game, just like the 49er game last week. But I think the Eagles were going to win by 8, 9, or 10.
Okay, what do you got, GT?
Oh my God, the Seahawks have lost the past 4 games.
Yeah.
I was liking the Seahawks on this one just because of how the Eagles have been.
They didn't score over 20 points in 3 of those 4 games. I mean, they haven't been able to move the football.
So I have to go with the Eagles. Another thing with this too is the same thing that's kind of similar to Jacksonville. Kenneth Walker is an amazing running back or whatever, but I don't know what the heck he's been doing. I think he's been injured, and he's been playing the whole season. Well, say half the season injured, and they just keep playing him, and it's not a good idea at this point. And they have Charbonnet or whatever, but then he got injured a couple of weeks ago or whatever. But I can't see the Eagles actually losing this, because if so, it's like the same thing with the Cowboys. Then it's like, okay, now you're in hot water. You are sky high.
Yeah, if the Eagles, really I'm with you. I'm going to go with the Eagles just solely on if they lose this game, they're in some trouble. And I know they'll still be 10-4, but you really the doubts start kind of creeping in your mind here.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go Eagles here. What do you got, Sheet? What up, Poop Man?
It's one of those things of everybody. You look at this, the Eagles have just gotten off a really tough schedule. Finally, this is the last little hurdle of that schedule, and it's smooth sailing because you got Giants, Cardinals, Giants. I mean, it couldn't get any easier than that there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say hang on a little minute here, because you see that smooth sailing. You still got to watch out for that speed bump between here and there. And I think the Eagles are tired. They're stumbling to the finish line here, and I think they're going to trip up right here on Seattle. This is the Eagles.
Ooh.
This is the Eagles Arizona game compared to whenever Dallas lost to Arizona earlier.
Okay, thanks for bringing that up again. All right, ass. You can find a different comparison, Jacques. Okay. God, I can't wait till the season's over so you can't use that anymore. It's fucking ridiculous. All right, Jacques. All right, that's a bud. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to Seattle.
All right, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I understand where you're going. Thanks. All right, guys, those have been our week picks. Again, thank you so much, GT, for coming on. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Again, go follow the Goldontotoro over there, part of our stream team. He's right there. Look at him. He's right there with this guy. Thank you, GT. I appreciate you, man. It's a great time.
Thanks for having me.
You got it, man.
Appreciate it.
Always. Pops, I will see you tomorrow for your tournament. Have a good Wednesday and a good Tuesday night. You start at 11 tomorrow, right?
11 to 4.
Yeah,
yes.
11 to 4. So be giving away some skins.
Go see a hockey game tomorrow. I'm going to the
nice.
Firebirds game, the local hockey team for the Kraken.
Oh,
they're
nice.
They're the
For
minor
Colonel?
league hockey team for the Kraken, and they made it to the finals last year, and they lost to Hershey, but it should be some pretty good hockey. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll have some fun tomorrow then. Again, it could be here a different time. Again, for Knocker tomorrow, 11. That's 11.